Welcome back to the show. Thank you for tuning in, for listening, for watching, wherever you are in the world. Max, he's in Canada. I'm in the UK, in the Isle of Man, and together we are the Ignite Your Purpose podcast, where we talk longevity through a healthy lifestyle. It's a mix of the mental, the physical, spiritual knowledge, and as we like to call it, it's our mind, body, soul trifecta. Now, not sure if you read the words and the description, quite random, several subjects in there, but what we're going to talk about really is when we go through life and we remove something from our lives to achieve something else, or we go to, let's say, go to the gym with the aim of becoming fitter or healthier or losing weight, but because we didn't really want to be there and we didn't really enjoy it and it was really hard and we didn't like it, before we've left the changing room, we're then programmed into our heads, right, I'm going to have the double Big Mac, caramel macchiato, 1,000 calorie time bomb, where you might have burnt 300 calories on a 30-minute jog. So we're aiming to achieve something and we're not wanting to do it. And so we kind of give ourselves the opposite, and it's wanting to have a professional attitude towards something, but then being very amateur at it. So I've kind of thrown a few things in the air. Hopefully Max will pull that back in. He'll say something. I'll work out my answers, and then we will give you a takeaway by the end of the show. Oh, if you like the show, please hit subscribe and then the little bell. That lets you know when we're online. This is 150 shows today. This version must be 200 all told. So hopefully we are bringing it together, starting to deliver a slightly more professional look, feel, and sound. But if not, let us know where you'd like it improved, and we will do our best for you. So Max, what's happening, big mama, big brother? Whoa.
John, we are under massive amounts of snow. It's crazy. Not impressed, but it is what it is. So, first things first, where does this, what you're talking about, where does this whole mental programming, because that's what it is, it's a mental program of, okay, I'm going to go do something, and if I do it, I get a reward. Let me think. Preschool, kindergarten, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, university, school, then job. It's all, we are programmed down to our fiber, our core, about a reward-based system. We even train our pets. Hey, if you sit long enough, I'll give you a treat. We're no different than them, John. So I think this whole system comes from that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep going. I got a lot to say. I've got a beautiful female friend of mine who loves her alcohol. All right. Now this summer, actually started in spring, she went something like 120 days of health. She was eating good. She was not drinking. She had lost weight. Energy went up. Craziness, right? Now, she is a party girl. She was a promoter in the club scene. And then I think mid-August, all these bands that she loved came to the west coast of Canada. She fell off the train, started partying, went out and did her thing. And I got to talk to her the other day, and I said, you know, when in Rome is one of the things I said, but how did you feel before and after? And she said there was no comparison, but she said, I love the scene, and in the scene becomes the social, and I love to drink and so many things. So she knows the good and the bad. She still went with the bad. And that brings up my next point, whereas with drugs, sex, rock and roll, and I'd say gambling, all those things, right? In all of those, there's a support system, whether it's an AA group. And I think if you're going to look at the longevity of our life and whatever the end goal is that we want, you almost have to look at it like, don't get me wrong, if you're going to do something once in a while, that's fine. But if it is an addiction, like John said, if you go and walk on the treadmill while you're texting and you think the reward is, eating out at some fast food joint or some crazy, huge coffee or whatever it is, you actually are doing yourself a disservice in the end, right? So if we look at it like an AA type thing where you are at, 10 years sober or whatever it is, right? You have to look at that like your life. Like, okay, man, I'm I'm going 6 months, I'm going 12 years, I'm going whatever, because my end goal is this. And if we start looking at it like,
yeah, that's right.
What's that word I'm looking for, John? When you hold somebody accountable. If we look at it like we hold ourselves accountable, which takes a shit ton of work, by the way, because of our programming, which was what? If I do this, I get a reward.
Yeah.
But if we can look at it like some type of accountability, then it can change. But until then, it's a tough thing. John, I did my best to hold it down.
I'm going to try and pull it in together. So if we talk about, we all know that diets pretty much don't work. When we start a diet, lots of things change. We stop eating this, we start exercising, we start moving, we might go to sleep. All of these things happen and line up, and then we get some results. And then some that will happen, we'll go out for a weekend and we'll have a little mistake. So we'll either go, that's it, it's all out the window, or there'll be a family dinner and we'll go, oh, it's all over. And then all of a sudden, this, and they all revert back to where they were. And we often work on this really short-term goal rather than trying to think, right, I'm going to change a behavior for life. And actually say, if I'm going to change the complete way I eat for life, it would never happen. Because it's just too much. It's just too overwhelming. So
Agreed.
Maybe a place to start is there one thing that you could say, I'm going to give that up for life? Could you give up a Twinkie? Do you know what? If I never have another Twinkie again, I can have everything else. I'm going to give up that Twinkie for life and then just concentrate on that one small thing. And then just include that in your life. And before you know it, you'll just not even think about having Twinkies in your house because you just don't. Or I can have soda, but I'm just not going to have soda in the house. So trying to set up these tiny little challenges one at a time and not thinking I can't have Diet Coke, soda, Big Mac, Kentucky Fried Chicken, crisps, pizza. If we try and rule out all of this stuff and try and completely change all of our diet and all of our movement patterns and try and implement new sleeping routines, it's just too much because we're just not trained how to implement willpower. I think 2% of people can just operate on willpower. They've just got that mindset and they'll do it. But the rest of us will fucking screwed because it's just, I can't do it. Oh, what's that? Oh, what you got there? And I struggle. But when I try and make these small implementations, I think, right, if I was to say to somebody, you can never have a chocolate bar again, their reaction basically tells you their level of addiction. So if I said it to my niece or someone, I said, right, you can never have that chocolate bar ever again. And she goes, okay, no big deal. She's not got that addiction or that level of addiction with it. But if she freaking kicks off and, all the fireworks are going off, you know that they've got an unhealthy relationship with it. So try and break it down to tiny little things, right? I'm not going to drink Coke anymore. Or I'm not going to have Coke in the house. Or I'll have Coke only when I go to a meal. And just start there. So Max, anything else?
I agree with what you said there on the addiction part, man. Some of these things it's addiction-based reward system, right? So
yeah.
Again, it comes down to knowing your why, knowing your purpose of what you're doing it for, and then holding yourself accountable. Because in the end, it's what do you want for yourself in the end, really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be sluggish and in a fog all the time? If you do, cool. This show is not for you and what we're talking about. Maybe you have fun listening to us, but it's not going to change anything. It's not until you, being me or whoever is listening, decide, damn it, I need a change. I want to be better. I want to do better. So I'm not going to take that reward.
It's waking up on that day and saying, I am going to prioritize my health, not for me, but for my family, for my kids, for my grandkids, for all of my employees. It's thinking slightly bigger picture than yourself. And obviously it's important to think about yourself for your health, but if you think about doing it for somebody else as well, it just makes it that much more important. So I'm out for today. I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. 150 shows, and I'm still enjoying it. We're going to bang out some great episodes next week when I'm in Max's neck of the woods. Hopefully not digging the house out of snow if it keeps dumping like it is. But
Crazy.
it's crazy, man. So bye-bye from me. Thank you. See you next time.
Beautiful people, we appreciate your time. Subscribe, like. We're so pumped about the Anchor and the podcast stuff's going off crazy. So we appreciate you guys. Subscribe, like, listen, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye-bye.